Imagine unlocking a level of pleasure for your partner that leaves her breathless, her body trembling in waves of ecstasy that she didn't even know were possible. And the surprising truth is, it's not about fancy gadgets or endless practice sessions. It's something far more straightforward, rooted in how her body naturally responds when you take the time to truly understand it. Most guys have heard the myth that great oral intimacy comes down to wild techniques or going as fast as you can, like it's a race to the finish. But let me tell you, that's missing the mark entirely. What really creates those mind-blowing moments is building anticipation, creating a rhythm that syncs with her natural flow, and giving her arousal the space to grow layer by layer. Think about it this way: men's excitement often ramps up quickly, like flipping a switch. For women, it's more like stoking a fire. You start with gentle sparks, let the heat build gradually, and soon it turns into a roaring blaze. If you dive in too aggressively, you might smother those early flames before they have a chance to ignite fully. But when you pace things right, that buildup leads to an explosion of sensation that's truly unforgettable. And the key to mastering this? It's a straightforward approach known as the edging technique, or what some call the pause and resume rhythm. Applied thoughtfully during those intimate moments, it heightens her sensations, drawing out the pleasure until it culminates in a release that's far more intense than a straightforward path would allow. You might be wondering, does this really make a difference? Absolutely, and it's backed by how our bodies work. Research into sexual response shows that prolonging arousal can amplify the intensity of the climax, with increased blood flow and muscle tension creating a more powerful payoff. For instance, studies on orgasm control have found that this kind of buildup leads to stronger contractions and a deeper sense of satisfaction. In my years helping folks navigate these aspects of health and connection, I've seen time and again how this method transforms experiences. Men who felt like they were just going through the motions suddenly find themselves creating connections that deepen their relationships. It's not about being perfect, it's about being attentive. Have you ever noticed how a teaser trailer for a movie builds hype by showing just enough to keep you hooked? That's similar to how this works. You create that same sense of eager anticipation in her body. Let's paint a picture with a real-life scenario. Picture a couple in their mid-50s, where the husband, let's say his name is Mike, had been feeling like intimacy had lost its spark after decades together. He tried various things he'd read about, but nothing clicked. Then, by focusing on this rhythmic approach, he learned to read her signals and adjust accordingly. Within weeks, their evenings together became something they both looked forward to, reigniting that passion they thought was fading with age. This isn't just anecdotal, it's aligned with what experts in sexual health observe. The female arousal cycle involves phases where excitement plateaus and then surges, and interrupting that rush strategically can make each wave stronger than the last. Now, to make this practical, we need to break it down into foundational elements that anyone can apply. The first essential part is creating an environment where both of you can relax fully, because tension anywhere can derail the whole experience. Consider comfort like the foundation of a house. If it's shaky, everything built on top wobbles. For her, that means positioning in a way that allows her body to open up naturally, without strain. A simple adjustment, like placing a soft pillow under her lower back, can tilt things just right, making sensations more accessible and heightening sensitivity in key areas. For you, it's about sustainability. If your neck is cramping after a few minutes, you're not going to be focused on the moment. Try sitting comfortably or using support for your knees if needed. Breathe steadily through your nose, keeping your muscles loose. This turns what could be a quick encounter into a leisurely exploration. Why does this matter so much? Biologically, when the body feels at ease, the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in, promoting relaxation and allowing arousal to flow freely. Studies on sexual physiology highlight how stress or discomfort can inhibit blood flow to sensitive areas, reducing pleasure. But in a comfortable setup, that flow increases, paving the way for deeper sensations. Take it from someone who's guided many through this. One gentleman in his 60s shared how just changing positions eliminated the fatigue he used to feel, letting him stay engaged longer and notice subtleties he missed before. It made him feel more in control, and that confidence translated directly to her enjoyment. What do you think? Have you ever tried adjusting your setup like this? It might seem small, but it can change everything. Moving smoothly into the next layer, once you're both settled, the real art begins with a gentle escalation. But here's something many overlook: jumping straight to the most sensitive spot is like turning a cold shower to scalding hot. It shocks the system instead of inviting it in. Instead, envision warming up like simmering a delicious stew. You add ingredients slowly, letting flavors meld over time for a richer result. Start by exploring the surrounding areas, like the inner thighs, which are rich with nerves that awaken gradually. Use light, feathery touches with your lips or the tip of your tongue, tracing paths that circle closer but don't rush the center. This teasing builds neural excitement, priming her body for what's ahead. Research into female anatomy reveals that the clitoris, with its thousands of nerve endings, responds best when approached indirectly at first, avoiding overstimulation. Add in a consistent rhythm, perhaps slow upward strokes that you maintain steadily. Count them mentally if it helps keep the pace even. This consistency signals safety and intention, allowing her to surrender to the sensations. Emotionally, this phase communicates care and desire. I'm here for the journey, not just the destination. And practically, it gives you breathing room to observe her reactions, a sigh here, a subtle shift there, guiding your next moves. Let me share another relatable example. There was a patient, around 45, who confided that his attempts at intimacy often felt mechanical. By incorporating this gradual warm-up, he discovered how her body language changed, becoming more responsive. It wasn't long before she was initiating more, feeling truly seen and appreciated. If you're nodding along, thinking this sounds doable, you're right. It's about patience, and that pays off in spades. Around this point, if you're finding these insights valuable for enhancing your vitality and connections, consider subscribing to stay in the loop with more tips like this. Joining our community means you're committed to feeling your best at any age. But wait, this next element is what ties it all together and elevates the experience to something extraordinary: the art of pausing at just the right moments. This is the core secret. As her excitement builds toward that peak, you intentionally ease back, letting the tension simmer before ramping up again. Each cycle intensifies the buildup, leading to a climax that's not just satisfying, but profoundly powerful. Scientifically, this mirrors how the nervous system accumulates arousal. With each near peak, endorphins and dopamine surge higher, making the eventual release more euphoric. Studies on orgasm control, often explored in contexts like enhancing pleasure, show that this can result in longer-lasting and more intense experiences for women. Watch for her cues: quicker breaths, tightening muscles, perhaps her hands reaching out. That's your signal to soften, shift to gentle kisses on nearby skin or a soft whisper of encouragement. Hold for about 20 to 30 seconds, then return to the same effective rhythm. Repeat this a couple of times, and on the final ascent, maintain that steady path, letting nature take its course. To enhance it, incorporate gentle hand support, like lightly parting areas for better access or adding subtle internal pressure that complements the external focus. Always communicate lightly. A quick "how does this feel?" keeps things connected and ensures you're aligned. Here's a story that brings this home. A man in his 50s, dealing with the stresses of midlife, felt his confidence waning in the bedroom. After learning this pause technique, he applied it during a quiet evening with his partner. The result? She described it as the most connected they'd felt in years, boosting not just their intimacy but his overall sense of vitality. Where are you chatting from? Drop it in the comments section. It's amazing to hear from folks worldwide tackling these topics. To bring this into your life, start simple, focus on comfort first, then that slow escalation, and finally those strategic pauses. Practice noticing signals, and remember, it's about shared enjoyment. Some might worry, I'm getting older, does this still apply? Let me reassure you, maturity often brings wisdom in these areas. Women frequently share that partners over 50 bring a level of thoughtfulness and patience that's incredibly appealing. It's not about youthful energy, it's about consistent, caring presence. Biologically, as we age, focusing on quality over quantity enhances satisfaction. You don't need marathon stamina when you have smart strategies that work with your body's natural rhythms. Gentlemen, embracing this doesn't require drastic changes. It's about honoring her responses, being present, and enjoying the process. Whether you're boosting your energy naturally or restoring that spark, small shifts like this can lead to profound improvements in your health and relationships. Try it soon, create that comfortable space, build slowly, pause to heighten, and witness the difference. You'll not only give her moments she'll cherish but also reclaim a sense of empowerment that radiates into every part of your life. This is Dr. Alex from The Healthy Body, sharing these insights to help you live vibrantly. If you've enjoyed this and want more on men's health, sexual wellness, and ways to age with confidence, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and join our community. What's one insight from today you'll try? Share in the comments, let's keep the conversation going.